Welcome everyone to our today's video. In the last video under the topic compound interest, we studied about interest, the types of interest, that is simple interest and compound interest. We studied the difference between simple interest and compound interest also. The link of the video is given in the description below. You may go and refer to the video again. We also studied about the different types of compound interest based on the calculation. We had solved a problem based on simple interest and one problem on compound interest, where we are finding the interest for every year and then adding it to find the compound interest. But today we are going to derive a shortcut formula to directly find the amount which is to be paid or received at the end of the tenure once compounded annually. So we do not need to find the interest for every year and then add. As we saw, the method was tedious. So let's begin with the derivation of the formula for calculation of amount and compound interest. So if I assume that I am finding the compound interest for a period of 3 years based on a previous method which we found to be tedious and a very long method to calculate the compound interest, which comprised of calculating interest 1 from principal 1 for first year, then this interest got added to give me principal 2, and on calculation for second year it gave me increased interest for the second year. This 2 get added to give me the principal for the third year, and eventually at the end of third year I get this I3 as my third year's interest. So to find the total compound interest for a period of 3 years, it will be I1 plus I2 plus I3, which is different from simple interest method, where we find all the interests together by putting in the formula I is equal to P into R into T upon 100, where T is directly taken as 3 years and principal remains the same. So now let's try and find a direct formula which will help us reduce our method. Let P1 be my principal in the beginning of the first year, R be the rate of interest, and if I1 is the interest for first year, interest for first year will be I1, that is given by P1 into R into T. T is, since it's a first year, so T will be 1. So whether I write or I don't write, it remains the same. So P1 into R upon 100 will give me I1 at the end of the first year. Now the amount at the end of the first year will be interest plus the principal of the first year. Okay, that is nothing but P1 plus P1 into R upon 100. If I take P1 common, gives me P1, instead of P1 I'll write 1 plus R by 100. So this is the amount at the end of the first year. Now we know that This amount at the end of the first year becomes the principal T2 for calculating the second year's interest, which will be given by I2, and again the formula P2 into R upon 100. So amount at the second year is given by addition of P2 plus simple interest for the second year. If I substitute value of I2 over here, it gives me P2 plus P2 into R upon 100. Again P2 and P2 are common, so I take P2 common. 1 plus R upon 100. But if you see, P2 is nothing but from the previous step P1 into 1 plus R upon 100, and this bracket comes down as it is. You can still reduce this step because you see the brackets are same, and we are well aware that if the same brackets are multiplied twice, I can write it as the bracket raised to the power 2 or square of that bracket. So our amount at the end of the second year becomes P1 into 1 plus R by 100 the whole square. At the end of second year, just relate it with the highlighted words. So amount at the end of second year becomes P1 into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power 2 or square. Now we know the amount at the end of second year becomes the principal for the third year. Let us assume it to be P3. So interest for the third year, I3 will be calculated as P3 into R upon 100. So the amount at the end of third year will be the principal of the third year plus the interest of the third year. If I substitute the value of the interest of the third year, I get P3 plus P3 into R upon 100. And what is principal P3 for the third year? It's nothing but the amount of the second year. But before that, I'll simplify this to make P3 into 1 plus R upon 100. As we know that the principal P3 is the amount at the end of second year, I'll substitute it as P1 into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to 2. Only in place of P3 I have written the amount of the second year multiplied by the remaining part, that is 1 plus R upon 100. Since you see over here the base, that is the bracket, 1 plus R by 100 and 1 plus R by 100 are same, the product will be equal to the addition of these powers. So I'll write as it is P1 into, since these brackets are same, the powers will get added, 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to the power 3. This will be the amount at the end of third year. So if you see the relation, I'll write the amount for the third year. Amount 3 P1 into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to 3. If you see the relation over here between these formulas of amount, what is common is this P into 1 plus R by 100. The only number that is changing is, as the year is changing, my number is changing. Amount for the year first, it has 1 in the power over here. Amount at the end of second year has 2 in the power of this 1 plus R by 100. And amount at the end of third year has 3 in the power. So if I want to find for the fourth year, I'll have to again make this as my new principal P4. I'll find I4. Then amount at the end of fourth year will be P4 plus I4. Likewise, we will move ahead. So if I want to simplify this, I'll have to simplify this into a small formula. So let us assume that we are calculating the amount for n number of years, and the principal at the beginning is P. Okay, rate of interest is R. Compound interest for n number of years will be, suppose, I. So amount at the end of n years will be given by the formula P. Since we are relating amount first year, second year, third year, my P1 remains constant, which was the principal for the first year. So over here, principal of the first year in the beginning is P. So P into 1 plus R by 100. This whole thing remains the same as my denotions. Only thing that changes is the number of years which is situated over here at the power of this bracket. So when my number of years is n years, it will be raised to the power n. So amount at the end of first year, formula was raised to the power 1. Amount at the end of second year was this base raised to the power 2. Amount at the end of third year was this base raised to the power 3. So likewise, amount at the end of n years will be this base raised to the power n. So this becomes my formula for amount at the end of n years. So if I want to find the total amount which is to be paid at the end of n years, the formula for calculating will be P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to n. Again, remember this formula the way we have remembered the formula for simple interest. This formula is for finding the total amount at the end of the tenure n years. Now how to find compound interest for these n years, n number of years? So amount is given by P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to n. My interest or compound interest is given by total amount at the end of the tenure minus principal in the beginning of the tenure. This is the formula to find compound interest. Okay, so till now in this chapter we have studied that simple interest is PRT upon 100. The amount for calculated for compound interest, the total amount is given by P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to n, and the compound interest, only the compound interest is given by CI, that is total amount at the end of the tenure, which is found by this method, minus the initial principal which was kept or used for calculating the amount. Okay, so these are the three formulas which we are supposed to remember. So this formula makes our life easy in the topic compound interest. It reduces our problem solving time to a great extent. Now let's begin solving the problems. But before that, just for our satisfaction, as that is more important, we'll solve the previous sum which was solved in the last video by this method. The problem that we solved by the previous method, we'll solve it by the direct formula here, and we'll see whether the answer comes to be same or no. You can see in the last video the solution was as given. Now we solve the same sum based on the formula that we have derived today. So let's begin. So the question is, find the compound interest on a sum of rupees 8,000 for 3 years at a rate of 5% per annum. Just reminding you that we are solving the same sum by the new method that we learned today. So let's begin with the solution. My principal becomes rupees 8,000. My tenure, that is time period, which is denoted by N in this, becomes 3 years, and my rate of interest R is 5% per annum. So we don't have direct method to find compound interest. We will first find the amount which is to be paid at the end of 3 years. So amount is given by P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to N. Substituting the values, we get 8,000 into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to number of periods, that is 3. I would now request you all to kindly pause the video and try to find the solution of the amount that is to be paid at the end of 3 years. Now for those who got stuck over here at this step, what to do? We'll take LCM of the denominators and add. That will give me 8,000 into 105 upon 100, the whole cube, which I can write it as 8,000 multiplied by 105 into 105 into 105 upon 100 into 100 into 100. This 100 into 100 into 100 can also be written as, since it has 6 zeros, so 1000 multiplied by 1000, that became 10 raised to the power 6. So this also is 10 raised to the power 6. So I'll cancel this 1000, and this 8000 becomes 8. Let's try to simplify this horrible looking number. Let's try it first with 5. 5 2s are 10, 1s are 5. 5 200s are same again. 5 21s are and 5 40s are again. 5 8s are 5 21s are 8 1s are 8 gone. So we'll have to find the answer, which is nothing but 21 cube, and that is nothing but 9,261. So this is the amount at the end of third year. But since we are asked compound interest, we are supposed to use the next formula. Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal, which is nothing but 9,261 minus principal was 8,000, which gives me rupees 1,261 only. So the final statement of this problem will be the compound interest on a sum of rupees 8,000 for 3 years at a rate of 5% per annum is 1,261 rupees. I hope this sum is clear. So this is a shortcut method by using the formula that we have derived. Next question. Find the difference between compound interest and simple interest for 8,000 rupees for 3 years at the rate of 10% per annum. Now principal is 8,000 rupees. Time period or tenure is 3 years. Rate of interest is 10% per annum. Now the question says find the difference between compound interest and simple interest. That means we'll have to first find what is the compound interest on this data, then find what is the simple interest on this data, and subtract simple interest from compound interest, because we know that compound interest yields us more money than simple interest for a fixed particular time. So formula for compound interest will be amount minus principal. For that we need to calculate amount. So amount is equal to principal into 1 plus rate of interest upon 100 raised to the power number of years. So substituting the values, we get 8,000 into 1 plus 10 by 100 raised to the power 3, which is nothing but divided, so it becomes 1 by 10. 8,000 into 1 plus 1 by 10 raised to the power 3. Taking LCM and adding, it becomes 8,000 into 10 plus 1 upon 10, that is 11 upon 10 the whole raised to 3, which can be again written as 8,000 into 11 into 11 into 11 divided by 10 into 10 into 10. So this gets cancelled with 1,000. What is left is 8. So total amount will be 8 into 11 into 11 into 11, which gives me 10,648. So this is my amount. We are supposed to find compound interest. So compound interest is nothing but amount minus principal, that is 10,648 minus principal was 8,000, which gives me 2,648. So this is my compound interest. So I'll write it or note it down. Compound interest is 2,648. Now let's find the simple interest on the same amount for same number of years at the same rate of interest. So SI, that is simple interest, is nothing but T into R into tenure we have denoted as N. So N upon 100, which is nothing but 8,000 into R is 10, number of years is 3, and divided by 100. Let's simplify it again. So we have 800, 80 into 10, 800 into 3, which gives me 2400. So as we see over here, simple interest is 2400, and the question says find the difference between compound interest and simple interest. So obviously compound interest is more and must be more. So compound interest minus simple interest is nothing but 2648 minus 2400. That is 2648 minus 2400. That gives me around 248 rupees. So the difference between compound interest and simple interest for 8000 rupees for 3 years at the rate of 10% per annum is rupees 248. Moving on to the next question. If Sunita borrowed rupees 12,500 from a bank for 2 years at the rate of 8% per annum, and it is compound interest, find the amount she has to repay the bank after 2 years. So from the question we are supposed to comprehend what is the principal, what is the rate of interest, and what is the number of years. And since we know it's the sum of compound interest, we'll use this formula to find the total amount, and what she'll repay the bank after 2 years will be the total amount. We are not supposed to find the compound interest. So the question only asks about the amount which she has to repay the bank after 2 years. So in this sum we won't be finding the compound interest, that is amount minus principal. We'll only be finding the total amount that she has to repay the bank. So let's move ahead. Principal amount is 12,500 rupees. N, number of years, is 2 years, and rate of interest R is nothing but 8% per annum. The formula is A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to N. Now I want you all to pause the video and try and find the amount by solving this on your own. Now let's move ahead. Those who solved it, very good. Let's move ahead. If you practice more and more, you will be able to easily simplify the given problem and you can solve it easily. So P, that is 12,500 into 1 plus R is 8 by 100 raised to the power 2, which is nothing but, I simplify this, I take the LCM and the bracket becomes 100 plus 8, that is 108 upon 100 and its square. So 108 upon 100 into 108 upon 100. This 100 and these two zeros go away, which makes the number 125. I can simplify this even further before making the multiplication. 25 fours are 25 fives are. Again I can simplify it even further. 4 ones are 4, 2s are 8, remainder 2 8, 4 sevens are 28. So the answer will be 5 multiplied by 108 multiplied by 27, and that is supposed to be 14,580. So the amount that Sunita will return or repay after 2 years to the bank will be rupees 14,580. With this we end our today's video, and in the next video I'll see you again with some more problems and slightly more complications here and there. Till then, see you, keep practicing, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.